I am not someone that can be messed with. All right. Okay, bulletproofs.
On the back here, on the spine, there's some puncture wounds.
Clive. Pull him down.
Is it attacking from on top?
At the back.
I think there's more dogs than people in this area.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Whiskey, coming for Alpha.
It's early morning in Cape Town, South Africa. Chief Inspector Andries Venter has an unusual start to the day. He's on his way to a potentially volatile situation.
We received a request from the Sheriff of the Court to intervene at a property where community stables are situated, and they've been evicted from the property. So we're on our way to assist the Sheriff in safe and humane removal of the horses during the eviction process.
Horses and carts are a traditional form of transport in Cape Town, mostly for scrap metal, and around 500 of them still work in the city. For over 30 years, Philippi has been a popular place to keep the horses, but now the area is being redeveloped as an industrial estate. Space for stabling is rapidly disappearing, and the karting community is in crisis. Today, the bulldozers are moving in. Andries needs to make sure any remaining horses are safely removed by their owners. If not, he'll have to step in and take them temporarily to the SPCA. It's a controversial issue, but Andries has to do his job, and he doesn't think the owners are going to be very happy with the situation.
The reaction that I expect is probably one of defense, and I will try and move the animals as soon as possible without any unnecessary accusations, arguments or debates taking place.
Andries had hoped that the owners would have removed the horses themselves by now, but upon arrival, the stalls are far from empty. Fortunately, he has a team already on location with transport in case they have to take any horses.
I just want to find the Sheriff quickly.
Straight away, there's a problem. The Sheriff is nowhere to be seen.
There's a technical problem and he's going to phone me in 10 minutes.
Andries updates the horse owner's legal representative on the situation.
And only if he's here can this order be executed.
Yes, but the thing is, he doesn't have the right...
I don't know. They're disputing that the Sheriff has the authority to evict them. I've decided to just hang on until I get further information from the lawyers or from the Sheriff. And I've decided to just send everyone in to do a general check until we get further go-ahead.
The team gets to grips inspecting the stables. First impressions are good. On the other side of the yard, though, Andries has his hands full with the owners, and their legal representative isn't pleased.
I'm not getting into a debate whether the orders are legal or not.
What they said was they're going to remove the horses. That is why I confronted you and whoever.
But I'm not taking verbal abuse from anyone.
No,
I'm telling you now. We're here to help you guys, and I get verbal abuse because I'm trying to help you guys. I am not someone that can be messed with.
Despite the hostility, the inspection is going well. All the horses are in good condition, but the eviction isn't going quite as smoothly. There's been a legal delay, and Andries is left with only one option.
Guys, I've spoken to the lawyer now. The order is not enforceable. We're withdrawing. We will be back here to ensure that if there are horses left behind, that they are safely removed, either by yourselves or by us.
For now, the bulldozers will have to wait, but this won't be the end of the matter. Across town, Senior Inspector James Murphy and Trainee Inspector Moyo Makar are at the scene of an emergency. a Maltese poodle has been attacked by a neighbouring pit bull, and she's in bad shape. Sadly, the poodle's owner is overseas, but the house sitter tells them the dog's name is Twinkles.
On the back here, on the spine, there's some puncture wounds. Shame, man. A bit traumatic for a dog to be mauled like that.
There's not a moment to lose. The dog is clearly in need of urgent veterinary care.
They tried to put some ointment on, but it's not going to be adequate because these are puncture wounds, so they can get quite infected if you don't treat them.
James and Moyo rush her to the hospital.
There we go.
As soon as they arrive at the SPCA, they take her in. Vet George Birch is standing by.
You can imagine it's quite a small dog, pit bull is quite strong, so the amount of trauma that usually happens is quite severe. Half of it we don't see on here. If you just have a quick look at the dog, there's a couple of bite wounds. Usually what you get with these kind of animals is trauma inside. The animal looks okay now, but they actually call it the iceberg effect. You get a puncture wound and you get trauma to the tissue around there, and that will start dying off over a couple of days.
George needs to find out what's going on beneath the surface. Internal injuries can be hard to diagnose, and if not found in time, they can be life-threatening.
The lung sounds are a bit dull, which obviously is of concern that there might be some air in the chest. You can see the animal is quite sore on the left front and probably in the back as well. We'll just stabilize with some antibiotics, some pain medication and anti-inflammatories, and also just monitor the breathing. And these wounds obviously needs to be cleaned up. Okay.
Now he can see the wounds, George needs to be sure that there's nothing more serious going on. They'll need to run more tests. Chief Inspector Andres Venter and his team are returning to the stables in Philippi. The eviction notice has now been issued, and the horses have to leave today. The horse and cart owners claim they have nowhere to go, and their livelihoods are at risk. Feelings are running high, and the inspectors are taking no chances.
Okay, bulletproofs.
Armed police officers are on hand in case of trouble.
Well, the sheriff of the court's got a court order to vacate the premises, and the police are here to enforce a court order. We're just here to ensure that the animals are removed safely, either by the owners or by ourselves.
Although the SPCA inspectors are only there to safeguard the welfare of the horses, Andres is anticipating resistance from the owners.
They're under the impression that they won't get their horses back, that it's going to cost them a lot of money, etc., etc. So and by removing the horses, which is a daily income for them, they use the horses for scrap transport, etc. It's taking away their livelihood. So they think we're here to close them down, to stop them from working, and that is not true. We're just here to ensure that when these buildings are flattened by the bulldozers, that there's no animal left in the building.
It's a tough situation, but there's not a moment to lose. The bulldozers are moving in. All the horses need to vacate the stables, and quick.
Make sure that you mark and try and get the owner's details of each stable and horse that you take. Yes.
Okay.
Some of the owners arrive. They're anxious to find out what's going on. Before any horses can be loaded, they need to find out who they belong to.
We're trying to get keep good record here because it's different owners and there could easily be a misunderstanding or confusion where someone will claim his horse and it's not his, or this claims another person's horse. We have to make sure that we keep good record of these horses.
Shoe left, socks.
Owner Agmat Safordine is very unhappy with the situation.
They never come here and said, okay, guys, there's a facility for you or a place for your horses. They come this moment with summonses and this, that, and the other. So where must we go? Because we were standing here over 35 years. That's another lifetime. So where do I go with my horses? Coming here with guns and bolt cutters. Now you tell me, is this democracy? Is this the understanding of human beings?
generally he's upset, and to be honest, if I was him, I would be upset too. But it's out of my hands. He says he hasn't got place to take the horses to, so we'll have to step in and offer accommodation until he can resolve it. All we're here for is to ensure that when these trucks move in, that there's no animals here.
You do what you have to do.
Okay, all right.
Very simple. You know most what to do.
Okay. They have to comply, so he's allowing us to take the horses, and he's going to bring all the horses to us. So far, it's peaceful.
So I haven't got a problem. You can take the horses.
With time running out, the team start to load the horses. But the stress of the situation is taking its toll on everyone.
These horses have never really been trucked. They've been either ridden, pulled carts, trained in a field. If you saw the one coming out, it rolled. I mean, it's a sign that it hasn't been out for quite some time. So the first thing it wanted to do was just roll and feel the ground. They've never been loaded. The fact that it's a wooden box, a big white, obvious thing, frightens them. So it is going to be difficult to load them. Where's the long rope? Let it calm down, let it calm down. Wait, Patrick. All right, all right. All right, all right.
Eventually, patience pays off, and the horses start to oblige.
We've taken 7 horses, and from here on I'll call a meeting with the lawyers and the horse owners to try and ascertain what the future of the horses holds, where they're going to stable them, etc. For now, the animals are safe and I'm happy.
It's been a long day. For the time being, 7 horses will go back to the SPCA until their owners can make other arrangements. "24 miles away, Inspector Conchita Milburn and trainee Inspector Nico Mass are in the busy harbour of Simonstown. They've had an unusual call for help from the naval base. A rare visitor has been discovered in one of the traps the Navy set for feral cats, and they don't know what to do with it or even what it is. Senior Clerk Sharon Peterson is hoping that Conchita will be able to shed some light on the subject and solve the mystery.
It's a spotted genet.
It's in the cage at the back. I have got it covered.
From a quick look at the photos, Conchita thinks it may be a genet, a cat-like creature, but she's going to need to see it in the flesh to be sure.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful, eh?
From what I know, they're solitary animals, so they do travel distances to find food. From what I read up as well, they do sometimes raid cabins.
Yeah.
So obviously you're looking out for food. He's not stressed like a wildcat would be, you know, throwing themselves against the cage, but his eyes are big and they're not closing, so there are signs of stress.
Genets can be found throughout Africa. They are primarily carnivores, so it's possible the cat food in the trap attracted it.
My personal experience is the first one I've seen, so I think they're quite secretive animals, and they are nocturnal, so it reduces your chances of sighting them.
Because it's a wild animal, it's important to get the genet back into its natural habitat as quickly as possible.
The plan is our control office. Emma is going to phone ahead, see if Cape Point is a viable release location, and when we have that go-ahead, then we'll take the genet over there and release.
Conchita is eager to minimize the stress on the animal.
Well, we've just covered the trap in a blanket just to create a sense of safety and security.
Sharon is the one who found him.
Well, I set the trap the night before, thinking it was just a normal feral cat, and I waited for them to open, and it was sitting with its back to me, and I thought, what beautiful markings for a cat. When it turned around, it had this long nose, and I thought, what do I do with it? So I contacted the SPCA, and well, here you are. And at least now I know where it's going to go. It's going to be back with its own, and I'm just glad. I'm glad that somebody's going to put it back where it belongs.
Cape Nature has already located just the right spot for the genet.
We've been granted permission to release our genet between Simonstown and Cape Point, not to disturb the existing population of genets at Cape Point. Seascapes and mountain views, and apparently some other local wild inhabitants. A nice safe distance from the road. Yeah, so I think this is a good release location. This is it, what we've been waiting for.
The genet looks eager to be free. At last, he's back where he belongs.
Yeah, it's a happy ending, a beautiful creature in a beautiful environment. So, yeah, it was a good day.
At the SPCA in Grassy Park, the horses have started arriving from the community stables. They're fit and healthy. They just need somewhere to stay now that their old homes have been bulldozed.
They'll be properly fed and watered and groomed and cared for while they're with us until we find a solution to the problem, which is where are these people supposed to keep their horses, which is becoming a problem across Cape Town. More and more of these evictions are taking place. More and more people are being evicted with their animals, and they just don't know what to do with them. We have to take the animal in, but we have to come to a point where we say, what now? Because we can't keep them here forever.
Although it's only temporary, the horses seem to be making themselves at home.
It's not a cruelty case. It is a case of helping the owners find a safe haven for their animals and working with the lawyers to find a solution. So the owners will be allowed to visit. They will be allowed to, once they find a place, we'll inspect and we'll allow them to take the horses there if acceptable.
There are 93 societies for the prevention of cruelty to animals in South Africa. The Cape of Good Hope SPCA covers 9,000 square miles of the Western Cape from its base in Grassy Park. Andries Venter and his inspectors have another hectic day ahead. They'll be visiting a low-income suburb of Cape Town where uncontrolled breeding of dogs is causing problems. Venter wants to offer help to the community and make it a better place for the animals to live in. Staff from the SPCA's mobile clinic will also be going. But first, Venter needs to brief the team.
The aim of this operation is to ensure that we try and get every animal sterilized that can be sterilized, every animal treated that needs to be treated. It's a problem area in terms of animals roaming, people not taking responsibility. Do not argue with the people you're taking the animal in unless they can prove that they are responsible. So we're basically going to provide an ambulance service and a sterilization service to the community.
With a population of 10,000 people, Hillview lies just a few miles east of the SPCA headquarters, so it's not long before the teams start to arrive. Straight away, it's clear that there are a lot of dogs. Finding their owners, though, is going to be a challenge. Undeterred, the team gets to work. The community seem pleased to see them. Immediately, Andres spots a dog in need of attention.
Flamingo! Flamingo is enough!
And it has something rather strange on its fur.
It looks like it's got some oily substance on the hair coat. It hasn't got a severe hair loss, but it is undernourished.
He asked the owner about the oil on the coat.
Is it? Wil jy hom hou of moet ek hom vat dat ons hom behandel?
Ek dink u kan hom maar vat dat u hom maar behandel.
Okay, wil jy hom dan terug hê?
Sal u hom terug gee?
Ons kan
gaan hy huis toe.
En dan gaan ek terugkom laat jy net my kaart invul, hoor. Okay.
The owner agrees to let Andres take the dog back to the SPCA, where it will be treated and sterilized.
Oh, I can smell the car oil on it. There's old wife tales. One is that you can use car oil to treat mange with, which really doesn't work. It just makes the skin worse. So we're really dealing with old remedies every day that we have to educate people on and advise.
No sooner has he loaded the first dog than he spots someone else with a problem.
Where's Mar?
The owner tells Andres that the dog's name is Tiger.
As jy wil hê ons moet hom vat en behandel, kan jy hom terugkry. Andersins moet jy hom nou vat daarso waar die mobile clinic is, laat hulle hom ontwurm.
Andres suspects internal parasites could be responsible. If so, it's nothing that a quick trip to the SPCA hospital won't cure. Unsure of the dog's temperament, he can't be too careful.
How's that kop daarso? Okay. We're only skimming the top of the milk here. This is not a solution. The solution would be to be in here more regularly, at least once a week. What we're doing today is more of an assessment of what's needed.
With the first load of animals on board, next stop is the SPCA. Andres and his team will stay behind and continue with the inspection. And with dogs popping up round every corner, they've definitely got their work cut out. It's late afternoon, and for Senior Inspector Kira Joshua, the start of a particularly tough case. She's racing to a wildlife emergency. An antelope has wandered into a residential area, and it badly needs her help.
We just got a call now about a buck. They don't know what kind of buck. They was attacked by dogs. The call is standing by the buck, so it's not going anywhere. So we just need to get out there quite quickly now just to see if there's anything that we can do for it.
The buck is lying in a sports field, and it's not moving.
What happened over here?
The dogs did attack him, but I don't know if it...
Local resident Elton Wilson was the one who made the call. He witnessed the attack. A pack of dogs pounced on the buck.
Pull him down. It don't look nice.
No, it doesn't look nice.
There's not a moment to lose. With the buck going into shock and a noisy crowd forming, Kira needs to get it to the SPCA hospital, and quick. She blindfolds it and muffles its ears to try and minimize the stress.
How many dogs?
5.
5 dogs. And where was it? Did it attack him from on top?
At the back.
Just on the back part.
It's an upsetting situation for Kira.
The wound looks pretty bad. I was also quite nervy because there's a whole lot of people around it, which just causes absolute stress. And stress is the main thing that's going to kill wildlife. So I need to just rush this one through now. What I could see on the grasbook, was that there was an injury on the hind underneath, on the belly side. It's quite a He's bleeding, but he's not bleeding profusely. The buck was clearly, obviously in shock, and with the stress factor, the whole lot of people around it. And unfortunately, that is what kind of happens because it's in a residential area. It definitely frustrates me seeing a crowd of people around the animal. I mean, it's a wild animal, and that just stresses it out more. So it's injured, it's stressed out. Can't be very good for the poor guy.
It's touch and go as to whether the antelope, a greasebok, will survive.
We have a vet standing by at the SPCA, and I really, really hope that there's something that they can do for it.
Back at the SPCA, vet George Birch is waiting for the greasebok's arrival. It's a desperate situation. They gently try to assess its wounds.
There is a couple of bad wounds, but I don't think that's the biggest problem now. The animal's pale and the extremities are quite cold. So I'm just worried about shock. That's the biggest concern at the moment.
With the greasebok's condition deteriorating, George feels it's already too late.
We can maybe try if the animal can try and get up if it's strong enough. This one's not strong enough. If we lift up the blindfold, then the animal is weak. Its blinking has become poorer, so I think we should rather, or we think we should put this animal down.
George and Kira think the greasebok has suffered enough.
Because of the group of people that was around it, and with the stress factor and everything, and it being injured and being in shock, the animal's condition basically deteriorated from that point. When the vet had a look at it, and you can really see that the greisbokkie wasn't really in good condition, and would have been more cruel in trying to try and save it. Given you have to weigh up your options really. And it was an unfortunate thing. The option just seemed the better thing to do was to euthanize it.
In Hillview, Andres and the team are still hard at work. They've been busy picking up strays and offering medical treatment and sterilization to the community. It's now midday, and they've only scratched the surface of the problems, and they're running out of space on the trucks.
There's an overwhelming number of dogs. I think there's more dogs than people in this area.
Dogs seem to be the most popular pet, but suddenly a man emerges from a house with a cat, and he's worried about its ears. The cat is called Baby. Andres suspects the sun has done the damage.
It's prone in white dogs and white cats. It's the ultraviolet rays that affect it. I'll take it back to the SPCA, okay? And we'll have the vet have a look at it and give you treatment for it. The ears and the nose becomes cancerous, and if left untreated, it can affect the animal's health quite severely. The fact that he's come to us and highlighted it shows that he recognizes that there is a problem.
Baby will be rushed to the hospital where experienced medical staff can decide on the best course of action. Hopefully, it's not too late. Andres is not the only one with his hands full. A huge line has formed at the mobile clinic. Dogs of all breeds and sizes patiently wait their turn to see clinic nurse Theo Ardendorf.
It was a major response from the community. I think mostly it was because it's a Saturday and everyone's at home. It's just the people were storming and flocking. I mean, I didn't even get the chance to stand outside once. So, I mean, I didn't see anything outside. I was just basically busy checking and treating.
While the team wrap up here, the SPCA is abuzz with activity. Animals have started arriving from Hillview. Baby, the cat with the sunburnt ears, has just arrived.
There we go. You can see this ear here has got black scabs along the edge of the ear. On this other ear here, there's very, very small amount of redness. But if we feel the actual ear, the ear tip especially, is soft and supple, and we're not dealing with huge amounts of sunburn here. This ear, however, you can see is red. The actual ear is thickened, and the edges of the ear start curling up, and you start getting these scabs on them. What happens here is because they don't have pigment, the sun causes basically burn wounds on the actual ear. Now, that can sometimes cause enough damage to the DNA that it becomes cancerous. At this point, most likely, this would just be straight sunburn. We see a lot of cats like this.
Fortunately, the condition is treatable.
What we're going to do here is we're going to give the cat an anesthetic, and I'm just going to trim away the affected part of the ear here. We're not going to take the whole ear off. We'll just take off that top third piece over there, and then just let it heal up and see how the cat progresses. Not much that you can do to prevent this except applying sun cream daily or twice daily to the cat's ears. That's really hard for the most compliant owner out there. They can do this and they will still get sunburnt in our climate, and just keeping him out the sun, letting him heal up is going to do him the world of good.
Thankfully, the sunburn has been caught early. After a short surgical procedure, Baby will be able to go home.
Something's dead. Oh my God. This is not good, is it?
4 months ago, Senior Inspector James Murphy was horrified to discover a flock of sheep diseased and dying on a farm.
Basically starving to death.
The sheep were in such poor health that sadly, for many of them, the kindest option was to put them to sleep. The surviving sheep were placed under the care of the SPCA until the cruelty case could be heard. The prosecution is still ongoing, and that poses the problem of finding a foster home for 104 ewes, and it's been quite a challenge. After a 2-month search, the SPCA have found the perfect location. Chief Inspector Andres Venter is on his way to Darling, an area known for farming, to see how they're settling in.
How are you, Vicky?
Well, thanks. How are you?
Good, man. Good.
It's nice and wet here, hey?
Yes, well, I've got my boots on.
No, I don't even bother with boots.
Foster carer Victoria Butler is keen to show him around.
Hello, ladies.
But with so much lush grass available, the sheep are too busy eating to greet him.
The minute this gate over here opens, they're out. They know exactly where the green grass is.
The pasture here is far more suitable than the parched earth at their previous home.
But they're looking a lot better than they used to, hey? I'm going to show you the photos of what they used to look like.
Their feet have all been clipped. One of my guys is very, very good with sheep. So he did all their feet for us. We were going to shear them, but then we decided not to because it's too cold.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, they look a lot better. Yo. We're now at a situation where all we're waiting for is a court date, and the owner should then stand trial on charges for cruelty and neglect.
If the court assign ownership of the sheep to the SPCA, Victoria's farm will become their permanent home. And she's very happy to let them live out their lives doing the thing they seem to love best, grazing. East of the city, Senior Inspector James Murphy and Trainee Inspector Liesl Pienaar are in the suburb of Kraaifontein. They're on their way to a location where the owner has been refusing to improve conditions for his dogs. On a previous visit, the dogs were thin, on very short chains, and had inadequate shelter. As they arrive, it's immediately clear things haven't improved. But James has come prepared to take action.
I have a court order which allows me to enter the property.
The dogs are on 2 neighbouring properties. The court order gives James permission to remove them.
Well, we've got a dog chained to the gate.
There was a
no
runner.
Kennel.
You see no shelter. I've been here before on a recheck of one of James's cases. I came back here and still no improvements have been done. Gave them a second warning, came back on a recheck again and still no improvement. So they've had their chances. I mean, that's very short chaining with no shelter whatsoever.
And why hasn't he reacted on them? Why hasn't he reacted and made...
The owner is not home, but his brother is next door, and he agrees to talk to
I had
them.
a chat with him a couple of months ago already about this, and he hasn't fixed it up. So what we're doing here is we're confiscating the dogs. We've got a court order. We're going to remove the dogs.
Okay,
And-
no problem.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
They want them to be a bit aggressive. They say they're a bit underweight as well.
Yeah, and we take a camera photo.
You see, you can't get to that shelter,
Keys?
if it even is shelter.
What shelter? That's
What?
a garage door.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Leaning against the wall. People are tenants, so they don't really have a concern with the dogs. The dog was just there. I mean, it's not their property, so they don't have a say.
Black one first.
They load the thinnest dog first, but he's not used to walking on a lead. The shepherd mix is in better condition, but she's very nervous.
Very skittish. Oh, come on, come here. Being free, yeah. It's a young dog. Shame his heart's beating.
It's always, you know, some joy in seeing dogs being removed from, you know, situations where, you know, they weren't treated properly. I mean, training, short training, nowhere to go, no exercise. You can't even get away from your own feces, no shelter. It's not really, you know, proper treatment or, you know, fantastic life. But, yeah, hopefully now he'll realize it's actually serious and maybe change things if he wants his dogs back.
For now, the dogs will go back to the SPCA, where they'll receive the care and attention they deserve. The owner has 7 days to respond to the notice.
Wait, Patrick.
4 weeks ago, Andres and his team assisted the police in an eviction of some stables. The land was being redeveloped, so the horses had to go. A few of the owners couldn't find alternative accommodation at short notice, so the SPCA offered to temporarily take in their horses until new stables could be found. 7 of the horses are still at the SPCA, and they seem to have had no problem settling in. But they can't stay forever.
We have found alternative stabling for them, for the community and for the horses. We've asked for the individual owners' details now from the representatives of the community so that we can engage in setting up the arrangements for the transfer and the rental agreement between the new property owner and the individual horse owners.
Despite being in good shape when they arrived, the horses have needed a lot of daily care and attention. Vet nurse Angela Knight and horse care assistant Isaac Magikweni have been happy to provide it.
I'm just giving him a basic grooming today. He really enjoys the attention and the grooming, cooperates really well. It's really good for us to be able to have a horse that's in such good condition here with us. Most of the horses here and the ponies are in a really poor condition, often are ill or ill-treated, nervous horses. This boy here has got a beautiful temperament, is in good condition, has good muscle tone and a very good appetite. And they're all doing really well.
It's been a week since the dogs, which were living in poor conditions, were confiscated. Their owner has not been in contact, so staff at the SPCA have been caring for them. One of the dogs is still very nervous and unsocialized. Today, vet Cookie Harris is assessing his progress.
This is a German Shepherd cross, Labrador, all sorts. And just by looking at his gait, you can see he's a very nervous dog. A fairly nice hair coat, but this dog is obviously very, very thin. Dogs that don't get attention, when you approach them as human beings, the first thing they think of is that you want to attack them, so they want to be on the defensive and they curl up and they're scared. If he was an aggressive dog, already he would have tried to attack us. He's not attacking us, but he's uncomfortable around us. He would need working with, him getting used to being around people. If he were to get a nice home and somebody to train him, and also he's not too old to train, so he should be, in our opinion, a good candidate to rehome.
He'll need some more care and attention at the SPCA before he's ready to go to a new loving home. Meanwhile, animal behaviourist Candice de Villiers and her team are working with the Shepherd mix. She's grown in confidence, but Candice wants to make sure this hasn't any worrying side effects.
She's definitely never been taught how to behave around humans. Our next test will be the food bowl. We're going to use the rubber hand, and then if she does bite, that's fine, and then we'll know if she's going to be a resource guarder. Ooh, hello. Even just with slight movement of people's legs or of the hand, she actually also responded with quite a bit of aggression. In an instance like this, I wouldn't advise us putting her up for adoption. There's many reasons why she could be a resource guarder, but one of the two possibilities are that she either hasn't been fed enough or that she has had to fight for her food. We can't risk someone getting bitten. We can certainly not risk anybody if that's what we know about the dog.
Sadly, her aggressive behaviour leaves the SPCA with no other option than to humanely euthanize her. It's been 4 days since the mobile clinic was in Hillview. Today, trainee inspector Moyo Makar has some important deliveries to make. He's at the SPCA kennels because some of the dogs which were taken for sterilisation and treatment are ready to go home. First on the list is the dog whose owner had tried to cure mange with motor oil. It's a short drive from the SPCA. Owner Trevor Desane is eagerly awaiting his dog's return.
So you can see your dog was diagnosed with sarcoptic mange, which is just a skin condition. Okay. And he's been under treatment. And now they're saying every week your dog has got to be taken to the mobile clinic to get treatment for the skin condition. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Fortunately, the mange was treatable, but follow-up care with the mobile clinic will be essential. Another owner who's anxious to see their dog is Ricardo Luck.
Right. You can stand so that she can see you.
His dog Tiger had worms, which were making him very thin.
Just lift it up. No, just carry it through. Carry it through.
Since being treated, Tiger has put on a little weight, but he'll need a few more home-cooked meals before he's 100% fit.
This is medication for your puppy. As you can see, it's 1 tablet once a day for 10 days. So there are 10 tablets here. So it's 1 tablet once a day for 10 days.
Thank you very much.
Okay. You can just put it down and then I'll need your signature.
The work won't stop here, though. The SPCA will continue to help the community, and the mobile clinic will be out and about, ensuring the animals get all the help they need.
I'm very happy to have Tiger back, yes. I very appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, if one of my dogs is sick or something's wrong with my dog, I would like the SPCA to take care of him. And I will appreciate it. Thanks.
On the back here, on the spine, there's some puncture wounds.
Over a week ago, Senior Inspector James Murphy and Trainee Inspector Moyo Makar picked up a Maltese poodle which had been attacked by a pit bull. Twinkles was in bad shape and rushed to the SPCA, where vet George Birch treated her wounds. He was concerned that she could be suffering from internal injuries. But after 7 days in the hospital, Twinkles is feeling a lot better, and it shows. All her test results came back clear, and George is pleased with her progress.
Walking much better. It's very lively, affectionate. The lameness has improved quite a lot. You can see the animal's walking much better. It's very lively, affectionate. The wounds are doing well. There's just scabs there. There was a bit of a concern about the chest on the x-ray. It looked like there might have been a fracture, but you can't really elicit any pain over the chest, and usually they're quite sore. The colour is looking good, the breathing is fine, so we're going to send this one home and just let it recover at home.
Senior Inspector James Murphy arrives, and he's keen to see Twinkles.
Come on. Come on. Looking much better and ready to go home.
And he gets the nice job of returning her.
Here you go, Twinkles. Oh, we're going to take him back to the caretaker there, and hopefully when the owners get back, they'll have a well-recovered doggy.
And the hospital has some more good news. It's been 5 days since Baby, the cat with the sunburnt ears, was picked up from Hillview. Vet Miles Penfold has operated on the damaged area, and it's healing well.
Oh, that's looking good. Great. The swelling and the redness in the ear has actually come down quite a bit at the base, and that's probably just because he's been out of the sun now. And I've kept him in for 3 days to make sure we've got adequate pain control for him. There's no infection or anything coming through here, so I'm very happy to send him home. Yeah, my boy.
Baby's owner, Marjorie Brink, has arrived, and she can't wait to see him. But before they can leave, Miles has some advice.
Just get a bottle of sun cream, okay, and you just apply that in the mornings. When you see him in the morning, if you're feeding him, you just rub a little bit on the tips of the ears. If you can get quite a high SP factor, like 30, 40, it's great because you don't know how long the cat's going to be out.
It's time to go.
I'm so pleased, yo. I'm happy. Really happy. Thank you so much.
As long as Baby keeps out of the sun and wears his sun cream, he'll be fine.
Ooh. That burn looks pretty extensive.
Why are you so weak?
Just a bit of touch and go at this stage.
I think it's in this pipe. You see this pipe here?
Anything could have happened to the mother.
Oh. Easy, easy.
Previously on Animal Cop South Africa.
Gosh, you really need to clean up here. You can't have farm animals and rubbish. What you're feeding can be a real danger to your pigs. Surgical gloves.
That was just over a month ago. Senior Inspector James Murphy was unhappy with the chaotic living conditions on a small holding. Pigs, chickens, cats, dogs and goats were all needing some attention. But the farmer was keen to improve things and receptive to James's advice. So today, he's returning with his boss, Chief Inspector Andres Venter, to check that the farmer has been keeping up the good work. But they're in for a bit of a shock. The owner is nowhere to be seen. They take a look around. Straight away, something doesn't seem quite right.
What's happening here? What happened to this place? Shucks. There was a house here.
It quickly becomes clear that there's been a fire.
Okay, when you're talking about a farm, you actually have a farmhouse?
Yeah.
This is like a weird setup, James.
Glass is all melted here. You can see the heat. Must have been pretty intense. There was pigs in here.
Please tell me that there was pig food in there, so there must have still been pigs in here.
Not necessarily. This has been... See, the pigs were in here. As you can see, there's all burnt inside here. And whether the pigs were actually in here or whether they were able to get out, I don't know. But he didn't have many pigs here.
James and Andres are anxious to find out where the pigs are. On the other side of the property, they discover some new buildings and the pigs. Initial impressions are positive. The animals look healthy and well cared for.
He's got his shavings, he's got the water troughs. He's got a nice big area for all the babies here. So yeah, I'm impressed.
But nothing prepares them for what's round the corner.
Ooh!
It seems that 2 of the pigs didn't make it out of the fire in time.
That burn looks pretty extensive, and that would have been very raw and painful, and this animal should have had treatment, some painkillers and some ointment to actually heal that properly. Looks like he hasn't consulted a vet on treatment, and this is unacceptable.
I will have to take them in for treatment or let the vets have a look and have an assessment. I'm quite upset that the owner knew we do exist and he didn't phone us.
Yeah, I don't know what his reasoning would be, but it's definitely not. Ooh, okay, good. Okay, good. Oh, you're a big girl.
James and Andres think they need immediate vet care for their wounds to prevent infection.
Copied, please, you must hurry.
Andres gets on the radio to call for transport. He wants to get the pigs to the SPCA hospital as quickly as possible.
Okay, meneer, in terme van die dierebeskerming.
Next, he calls the owner.
Behandeling gekry nie. Was hier, okay, hoekom het jy ons nie gekontak nie? Jy het geweet ons is daar om te help. Ek gaan nie met die strei nie. Okay, in terme van die dierebeskermingswet vat ek hierdie varke. Vat nie al die varke nie, vat die 2 wat gebrand het. Okay.
The owner says that the fire was an accident and that the burnt pigs weren't the only victims. Sadly, another pig died in the blaze.
Yeah, the fire has upset the apple cart. In that, yeah, I mean, 1 pig lost its life, 2 are badly burned. If you think about that place burning down, I mean, this is all wood. If this catches fire, these pigs are toast.
Inspector Wilbur Kenkebi arrives with the trailer to transport the pigs back to the SPCA hospital. The owner also turns up, and he seems keen to explain his side of the story.
Well, you know what's worrying now is that all that is wood, and if you got that burned down, and this is going to burn down in no time, and you got lots of pigs in here, then you're going to have trouble.
Die tyd Philip en kwai vriende maak met mense. Ek sukkel maar so voort, meneer.
Andres makes it clear that this is his final warning. The owner agrees to pay for the vet care and wants the best thing for the pigs.
He's giving his full cooperation, and we're taking the animals in to be assessed by the vets.
I'm going to give him a warning for the pig for not treating it.
All that's left now is to load the pigs.
Well, it being a very large female could be quite aggressive.
Over, incoming.
Come on. Come on.
And the mother isn't going to make it easy. She has other ideas.
Come on. Come on. Come. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
The team are no match for this determined parent.
She's so... Oh, my head. Hey, she lifted me up.
They're going to need a bigger barrier.
They need to keep pushing. We can always tuck that over. Sounds like getting thrown by a pig, yeah. We managed to get it in with a little bit of minor coaxing. Yeah, this is a successful load. Just need to kind of batten down the hatches here and make sure she's safe for the long journey back to base.
With mother and baby safely in the trailer, next stop is the SPCA hospital to check out their wounds. There are 93 SPCAs in South Africa. At its base in Grassy Park, Cape Town, the Cape of Good Hope SPCA has 10 inspectors who respond to cases of animal cruelty and pleas for help. The pigs that were burnt in an accidental fire at a small holding are arriving at the SPCA.
Are you guys ready? Watch. Come on. Hey.
Chief Inspector Andries Venter and Senior Inspector James Murphy are eager for a vet to assess the extent of their injuries and make a full report.
Take this up. And we close the door. Closing. And in.
Vet George Birch is on hand to take a look.
There is quite a large raw area of skin on the right-hand side of the mom on the chest area, but as you can see, the wounds have been healing quite well. The piglet, on the other hand, has got a couple of more deeper wounds, so I think at this stage we might give them some antibiotics. What we'll definitely do is probably apply some ointment onto the piglet's wounds. Maybe some wound sprays would also be the easiest to go here. But it's amazing how well these production animals, how well they cope. They are quite hardy animals, and I mean 3 weeks and they're looking like this. If this was a person, they would be really badly in pain.
Fortunately for the pigs, their wounds are healing well. Despite the severe appearance of the burns, it seems their injuries aren't as bad as they look, and their general condition is good. Today, Inspector Wayne Hector is checking up on a worrying situation for the SPCA hospital. It seems a patient of theirs with a badly broken leg hasn't been back to have her splint removed. Wayne is on his way to find out what's going on. He's been told the dog's name is Tina. As he arrives, Wayne spots a dog in the front yard.
This dog has been in the MVA about 3 months ago, and it got the pins in, and it should have been back to be rechecked or removed the pins last month already, but the owner didn't take it to be removed, so now they're worried that the pins is it's getting infectious, the wounds.
The hospital's biggest concern is that the leg might become infected, which would result in the dog losing the limb.
So you can see the inflammation is red, probably because it's putting pressure on it. It's some irritation there. It's still running, walking and barking, and it's still active though. But yeah, we have to look at it at that wound.
Some neighbours arrive to find out what's happening.
Do you know the owner of the dog?
The owner, yeah.
Are you the owner?
No, Ozzy.
Ozzy, can I, is he here?
No, he's working.
Okay.
What's up?
I'm going to leave a note here. We're going to take the dog in for the pins, and it needs to be taken out. Are you able to handle this dog?
Yeah, that was fine.
Can you help us?
That was cool.
Is it?
Yeah. Just leave your contact.
I'm going to leave a note here for him.
You can put it in his door if you want.
Put this on. Okay, Kelly.
Wayne's top priority is the welfare of the dog. He's going to ensure Tina gets the veterinary care she needs.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, sir.
He leaves a warning for the owner to contact him.
It's cruel to leave your dog to suffer because you don't have money. He needs his freedom to be free of the stress and discomfort, so we need to sort this out. Okay.
Come on, bite it.
There you go, Gary. It's an offense to deny treatment, but I'm being reasonable here. If he needs to sort out the money situation, we can sort it out at the office. But in the meantime, get the dog treated.
Wayne's anxious to get Tina to the SPCA hospital, where a vet can inspect her leg and decide on the best course of action. Vet Joy Barry is waiting to take a look. If a splint is left for too long, it can cause more problems than it cures. She immediately spots something of concern.
Looks like there's a skin infection. It is like a foreign object going through the skin and into the bone. So you can actually get infection not only in the skin, but actually going into the bone and the whole operation failing and the dog actually losing its leg in the end. It's limping a little bit, but it's not too bad actually. So I think it's probably just in the skin and actually not, the infection is not actually going right into the bone.
Before Joy can go any further, she needs to make sure she has the full picture.
What we need to do is we need to take an X-ray and just see if the pins are ready to come out.
If the X-ray results are positive, Joy can go ahead and remove the splint. Horse Care Unit Inspector Wilbur Kincabe is heading to the Cape Flats area of Cape Town. Cape Flats lies 12 miles north of the city. It's densely populated, making it an unlikely place to keep a horse.
In connection with a horse that is confined in a small area, which is a quarter of the garage. And there's a lot of flies, according to the complainant. I'm just coming to check on that now. Hello.
Wilbur is taken through the house and into the garage to see the horse.
See the horse, it doesn't look bad. And there is a bedding here. And what I'm more concerned is about keeping of the horse here. If they do keep this horse here permanently, that would not be the right thing. It has to be out on a paddock or something. Just, it can't stay here forever.
Like he's not staying like permanently here. He's like on the in Philippi, you know?
Yeah.
On the farm where all the horses is.
But why do you bring it here?
It's like his horse. He's like he wants a horse, you know. But
if it's his horse, he must go to the farm. This child must go to the farm for whatever. If you want to ride or whatever, he must go there. You can't bring the horse to him.
You have to say that to my husband. He doesn't understand that.
Why you keep this horse here, Jason?
Because I love horses. Yesterday, we did take her out to the farm's field, so we did ride her there.
Where's the farm field?
There by Lente, a soccer field.
Yeah, but you cannot just take it out for riding. I mean, you can't
to
stay.
walk there, yes. We did take her to walk there and eat the grass.
Yeah, now this is wrong. You can't keep the horse here.
It is unfair to him, yes, I know that.
It's unfair, yeah.
Yeah.
The horse looks well fed, but Wilbur is not comfortable with its living arrangements. As he's leaving, the father arrives.
You can't keep it here all the time. You can't permanently keep it here.
No, we don't keep it permanently here. What we do is at night we come in and during the day it comes out again.
As you say, but when we got here, this horse was here. What time are you taking it out if you do take it out?
Just after school.
But you should take it in the morning.
In the morning.
You should take it, yeah, because you
That
can't.
won't be any problem. I can do that for you in the morning still.
Yeah, you can take it.
But that you must guarantee me that the child will keep his pet because that's his only love that he got.
This is the garage. It's not a place to keep a horse. They can't keep it here permanently. They have to take it out for grazing and bring it back later.
The family is new to horse ownership, so Wilbur wants to make them realize what they're taking on. He gives them a warning and 3 days to improve the conditions. It's a rainy start to the day at the SPCA in Grassy Park. But despite the bad weather, vet George Birch still needs to make sure that the pigs which were burned in an accidental fire are healing well. The pigs are enjoying the damp conditions and don't seem eager to come inside for a checkup. Getting a good look at them is going to be tricky. Finally, they calm down. George creeps up to see how their wounds are progressing.
And you can see you can't really restrain a big animal like this. We're not going to really sedate the animal to do this. You can see the wounds have healed quite nicely, and that's very superficial. Piglet, same story, wounds are looking much better. There's just a lot of scab still left on the back there of that piglet, but as you can see, it's healing well.
the antiseptic spray will prevent infection.
Yeah, I think it's fine for the pig to go home. The wounds are looking great and they're eating well, they're alert, they're not depressed. Obviously said the mom's is a bit tired at the moment from being chased around, but otherwise from that they're doing fine.
It's a hectic day for the SPCA hospital. Vet Joy Barry and Chief Theatre Orderly Winati Makilipi are busy taking x-rays of the dog with the splint on its leg. Tina's owners should have brought her in to have the splint removed over a month ago, but they never returned. Joy is hoping that the delay in removing the splint hasn't caused any problems.
What you can see here is like a massive callus forming around where the fracture line was. You can see just around the pin there's like a loosened area, but there is a possibility that there could also be infection actually in there. Yeah, I would say looking at the X-ray actually that it could have been removed a while ago. But this can definitely come off.
Fortunately, there are no serious complications. Joy can finally remove Tina's splint, and there's no time like the present. Tina has been sedated to keep her calm, and it's a fairly straightforward procedure.
Let's put it here, Chief. What we would do now, we'll cut and then we'll just pull out the pins, shave the skin, clean it up and send it home with some antibiotics. There we go. Usually when we actually put an X-fix in, the first time we get the animal back in 4 weeks' time, to do an X-ray to see if the bone is healed. There we go. If it's not ready, 2 to 3 weeks later again, we would get it back again and so on until it is actually healed.
Although it looks serious, once the sedative has worn off, Tina will be on her feet in no time. "12 miles east of the SPCA headquarters in Grassy Park, Wilbur is back to check on the horse in the garage. But there's a surprise in store for him.
Hello, good day. Oh, this is the place where he was.
The horse is nowhere to be seen. But there is something in its place.
Oh, you got the bicycles for horses?
Yeah, so yeah, around the buy me some bicycles and that. The horse was too big for my son. He just couldn't really handle the horse. So then this gentleman came up to us and asked if we were interested in selling it. So we asked him, so he said, yes, Daddy, because it's too big for me, I can't handle it.
So you say you sold the house, you didn't even take his name or anything?
No, I didn't bother to ask him because the way he talked to me, is that it's an old horse champion, you know.
Champion.
Yeah.
And he didn't even wanted a receipt from you?
No, he didn't ask for that, yeah.
Okay. So you say he stays in Philippi, but you don't know where?
No, he said he's got a small holding.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy that the horse is gone, and I'm just a bit worried, hoping that the horse went to a good home.
It seems the family have realized the full responsibility of horse ownership and decided it's not for them. Back at the SPCA, the pigs, which were accidentally burnt in a fire, are healing nicely, and they're ready to go home. The owner has paid for the vet care and been cooperating with the SPCA to improve conditions on the farm. So Andres agrees to return the pigs, as long as everything is up to scratch when they arrive at the small holding.
She's a very big pig and very strong, as we found out last time, so if we can get her in without stressing her out too much and getting ourselves injured in the process, it would be a bonus. Come on, big girl.
With the team assembled, now all they have to do is get the pigs into the trailer, and based on past experience, it's not going to be easy.
Stand your ground.
Then, what it will do is we'll try and lift the board. Keep the board down.
Okay, there we go.
Push it very strong.
Good. There we go. Okay. Good. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that was a lot easier.
Before they unload the pigs, Andres checks that standards haven't slipped.
We're just doing a check that everything's still in order, that nothing's gone backward or down. The inside of the styes are quite dry and seems to be in good nick. The owner's not here, but there has been a conversation with him between James and himself, and he is expecting the pigs back. So everything seems to be in order.
Satisfied that all the animals are well cared for, he gives the go-ahead to unload the pigs. And they seem very relaxed to be home.
This guy's progressed very well, but you know, it's very rustic at the moment, but gives the pigs adequate space, shelter, they've got water, they're getting food, I mean, they're looking healthy. He does ensure that they get their vaccinations and things with the vets. It will definitely be work in progress, and we'll continue to monitor, make sure that the things get sorted out.
If he doesn't keep his facilities up to standard and according to our requirements, we will next time not be as lenient, but when we remove, we will then take it further.
It's early evening, and an emergency call has just come in to the SPCA. Senior Inspector James Murphy and Inspector Wayne Hector are racing to the rescue. And for them, the day is far from over.
We're here because a kitten has got stuck in some other drain pipe, and we need to get it out. So yeah, we're going to take a look and see what we can find.
Young cats love to play, but sadly this kitten's game has turned into a life and death situation. The kitten has been missing all day. After several hours, the owner heard faint cries from the drain pipe and called for help.
I'm not hearing anything right now. They say it was crying, so I don't know whether it's moved down or whether it's kind of fallen into the sewer somewhere. You kind of wonder why the dam cover's off in the first place, but it drops about a half meter down and then it goes along that way. Where does this pipe go to? Can we get that side? Is your
It's on the end. On the end.
Well, we're on the
That's
end. Can you show us? Let's go see where this pipe goes to now.
With no sound coming from the pipe, James anxiously makes his way to the other end of the drain in a neighbour's yard.
If somebody along the line is flushed, it will just keep washing the cat further and further down. We want to just look and see where the drain comes out, that pipe, to see that kitten.
With night falling, James and Wayne can't afford to waste any time. Despite Cape Town's warm climate, winter nighttime temperatures can reach freezing.
And it would come probably into here somewhere.
For a kitten on its own and outside, this could be life-threatening.
Wayne, I think this is where it comes out of. An idea is to actually run some water down there to try and flush the cat out this way, and you catch it with a net here. You want to start pushing them through?
Yeah, must I do that? But while it's in the pipe, we can't get to it. So we'll be trying to get a drain rod now from the one end, forcing it to move to the other end.
We're going to try and locate the cat between each house and see whether we can find the cat, because it'll make it easier working shorter distances.
Suddenly, though, whilst they're preparing the drainage rods, the kitten starts to cry. They can hear her, but just can't see her.
Oh, is it screaming there now?
I think it's in this pipe. You see this pipe here?
Is it there?
Put your hand in there. But you can't. It's locked. Yeah.
I'm going to go over the wall.
Might not be at the bottom here. It might be in this piece here. We must come in this side.
James goes round the other side to take a look.
It's a bit of a long way down here.
I'm blocking this side so he can't come back this way. He's right here. I think he's right here. Because the sound is coming strongly from that side, and I've no doubt it's there. Can you see him? It's not in the pipe. Is it that one?
Yeah, it's lying under the bloody pipes here. Not in the drain.
Not in the drain.
He was lying just outside here.
He hands the kitten through the wall to Wayne.
He was lying in the yard.
She's alive, but weak and very cold. The owner is relieved and grateful, but there's no time for cuddles. They need to get the kitten into the warmth of the truck.
I found him outside the drain. There's some corrugated sheeting, and they were kind of all packed in the corner. And they probably heard the screaming and thought he was actually in the drain. He doesn't look well. Like his eyes, pupils are very dilated. So something must have happened to him. Can't really tell if anything's broken at the moment. He's just very dirty. Oh, and smelly. Shame, Kitty. Okay, let's get you to the hospital. No. It's not looking so well. What I want you to do is actually just sign the cat over. Then we take it and look after it there. You happy with that?
Yes.
Okay.
The owner signs the kitten over. This way, the SPCA can ensure she gets all the vet care she needs. The kitten is worryingly cold and appears to be suffering from shock. James and Wayne are determined to get her back to the SPCA hospital as quickly as possible. Although it's the middle of the night, veterinary nurse Leonard Nikaiser is immediately on hand to help. Initial signs are not good.
I think it's so cold. It seems like here the temperature is not even, the thermometer is not even registering.
I don't know if there's any head trauma or something. Yeah, no, I'm thinking with the pupils that are dilated, there was some sort of head trauma. Especially the way it looks.
Let me see if she can stand.
Yeah, you see the balance?
Yeah, it's not having any balance.
We don't know what's going on with this cat. It could just be that it's quite sick and its temperature's dropped and it's just, yeah, in a state, or it could be concussion because it seems very disorientated.
But let's just try this option number one and see how things will be.
The kitten's unresponsive. Leonard's concerned that she's suffering from hypothermia, so the first priority is to warm her up.
I'll put some hot water bottles to see if it's just gonna get warm or else the temperature's gonna go up.
Try and put it close to him. Just a bit of touch and go at this stage. The kitten just looks very, very weak and its temperature doesn't even register on the thermometer, so at this stage the prognosis is very poor. Try and get its temperature up.
It'll be a long night, but the team are going to give her every chance of pulling through. It's early morning at the SPCA hospital. Vet Cookie Harris is eager to check on the kitten brought in last night. Having spent several hours stuck in a drain, the kitten had gone into shock and appeared to be suffering from hypothermia. It was touch and go whether she'd make it through the night. Initial signs are good, and she seems pleased to see Cookie.
It's very interesting now. The kitten is actually even trying to run away now. You can see its habitus is very much improved. Also, you can see the pupils are not so dilated as they were compared to yesterday. Obviously was very terrified and almost on the verge of dying yesterday. But now the cat's temperature is 37, which is their normal temperature is between 37.5 and 38.5. So it's obviously much improved now. We're gonna try and see if she's walking, just to check if there's any concussion. She's actually very bright. You can see she's now walking around trying to run away from us. I think the hot water bottle must have helped a lot. No, she's just playful. have that. This is the Felicin, that's nutritional supplement for cats. Wow, that's a good sign. And she just needs friends, hey? Yes, there she is. She's starting to groom herself. That's a good sign. But yeah, she looks very good.
She's made an amazing recovery. But before she's ready for a new home, she'll need some love and care to help build her strength up. And staff at the SPCA will be only too happy to oblige. Chief Inspector Andries Venter and Trainee Inspector Adiba Renze are heading east. A report has come in that 3 dogs are tied up and in unsanitary conditions. The dogs are chained up in the yard. The owner arrives to find out what's going on. He tells Andries that they are guard dogs. Dogs should be able to move around without the risk of getting tangled up.
The problem is the chaining and the condition of the dogs, the overall condition. Cleaning, lack of cleaning. My concern is the one that's aggressive, that's thin, that's got hair loss, and the small puppy, which is starting with the same. So he's agreed that I take those 2 in for treatment. In the meantime, that he fixes up his property, and that he will release the 3rd one from the chain as well. The kids apparently leave the gate open and the dogs get out and they bite people. They've had lots of complaints about the dogs biting people, or the one specific dog.
The mother is called Lady, and she's the first to be loaded. The owner is cooperative and receptive to advice. Andries decides an educational approach is the way forward.
We would like this to be cleaned up. Hierdie hok moet reggemaak word, né? This cage needs to be fixed up. These chains need to go away, okay? And then I'm happy with the diet that you're feeding. I think you've got a worm problem here. Come on, pups. But easy. Come on, pups. That's all right.
The puppy is next onto the truck. His name is Bruno.
So basically, it's a management issue. He's cooperating and he's willing to let us help him, and you're going to fix everything up for us, eh? Okay, bye, donkey. Thank you, eh? All right.
The 3rd dog is in better shape, so Andries decides to leave him on the condition that he is unchained. They'll be back to check that the improvements have been made, and only then will the man get his dogs back. The dogs arrive at the SPCA. Vet Cookie Harris is eager to evaluate Bruno the puppy.
He's a very, very scared dog, isn't he? And this you see very common with animals that are coming from homes where people just keep them outside. They're outside dogs. So that's what they are. They're just dogs. They're not pets. And there's a big difference between the two. You know, you can even see in the appearance of the animal. If you just look at the condition of this one, the hair coat is very dull and the hair coming off as well. And if you just look at him, the condition, you can see the ribs. So he's also a very thin dog. This dog has several skin lesions, and if you can't look closer, there's an area of hair loss there, which we refer to as alopecia. Yeah, this dog also has ticks. You can see just around the area where the tick has been sucking blood, you can see it's red there. We're going to pull that off. So he's going to get a nice shampoo. We're going to shampoo him nicely and then dip him, and then he'll have weekly treatments with the ivermectin. So he has a good chance.
Fortunately, all Bruno's problems have been caught early and are treatable. Cookie will make sure he gets all the care he needs. It's been a week since Tina, the dog with the injured leg, was confiscated. Staff at the SPCA hospital have removed her splint, and she's doing well. Tina's owner has been in touch, and today he's meeting Wayne at the SPCA to discuss the possibility of her returning home. But before she goes anywhere, Wayne wants to hear why he didn't bring her back to have the splint removed.
I struggled a little with the transport, and so I thought I'm gonna find out there by the vet in Muizenberg if they can perhaps help me so that I can make a down payment in removing the pins. And I did. It wasn't successful. They said I had to pay the full amount, and which I didn't have. With the pins in his leg, he still looks strong, but it's past expiring date.
The dog is fit to go home, so arrangements were made.
He said, okay, I could make a down payment, and then I can just give the rest when like next week or so.
Yeah, at least you did come up and claim and pay some of the money. It is sometimes a bit difficult when you have to work, and sometimes you don't have the finance to do, but at least he's shown good faith. He did bring it in after MBA, and he did give it treatment. So just the follow-up was a bit of a problem.
The owner has been struggling to pay for such complicated treatment, but Wayne thinks he deserves another chance.
The dog is in a good condition, so it's a sign that the dog is being treated well. It does go for walks. It's not being tied up in a small confinement. He's strong, man. So he must be looking after it well. I don't see the reason why he shouldn't get his dog back.
Satisfied that the owner tried his best, Wayne agrees to return Tina. And she seems happy with that decision too.
You can just don't let it loose.
In South Africa, the abundance of wildlife means that humans and animals live in close proximity. This can sometimes cause problems for the Cape's native species. Across town, Senior Inspector Kira Joshua and Trainee Inspector Liesl Pienaar are responding to a call in the southern suburbs of Cape Town. A wild animal is in trouble, and he's too young to fend for himself.
We got a call about a baby otter in somebody's garden. It's still quite young. It shouldn't be away from its mother. They normally should be with the mother for about a year or so before they actually can manage by themselves. So it's definitely a case where we need to remove the baby. Anything could have happened to the mother.
Okay, that's really baby.
Yes.
Is that the normal color of its paws? Is something wrong there?
Well, let's just get the box quickly.
Kira and Liesl are anxious to keep him calm. He may be young, but with teeth designed for feeding on crabs and crayfish, they can't take any risks.
Come in, son. Oh, it's okay. He's coming out that milk. Flash down.
Does he even have teeth yet?
Well, he just seems to be a bit stressed out in that. I'm not too sure, how developed his teeth are, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
The Cape clawless otter is a shy creature, usually found in rivers and wetlands.
Here we go. Nice and dry now. Hey. He seemed to be a bit stubborn or a bit scared, so we just managed to grab it now behind the head and just maneuver it into the box. You do find otters in the area. The thing is, because the house is on the border of a green belt and there's a river over here, at the stage we don't know where the mother is, and we need to take care of the baby. We can't just release it, so we're going to need to take it in.
For now, he'll be taken to the SPCA to check he's healthy. Vet Miles Penfold arrives to look at the cub.
So there's no sign of the mother or anything, and it is a pretty young one. It's supposed to be. It's still supposed to apparently be with the mom.
Okay, you've got a nice grip on him there. Okay, let's have a look at you. That's great. Just lift him up.
Do you want me to continue holding or?
Yeah, that's great. See, the incisors are still coming out in the front there, so still a real youngster. He's been sleeping nicely, so I'm wanting him to wake up and see how strong is he actually, and that'll let me know whether we're dealing with a really sick otter. Have you woken up now, my boy?
Wild animals can quickly go into shock, so Miles must get straight to work to minimize the stress to the cub.
Okay, I can't feel anything in the abdomen that's out of place. There's no lumps or bumps that shouldn't be there. Okay, he's looking quite nicely hydrated as well. There's no claws on the actual front feet at all. So that just shows us that this is what we call the Cape clawless otter, and that's the most common otter that we have in the area. No signs of diarrhea or anything else there. From what I can tell from him here, he's definitely quite weak from this. So I think he's either got separated from the mother or something has happened to the mother that she has not been able to feed him. And I can't find anything that would indicate a need for antibiotics or any of the other medicines. Really just needs to get food in it. Oh. Easy, 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 easy. Oh, luckily your teeth are small enough. Come on.
Despite being very frightened, the otter is in good condition. Until his mother or a specialist sanctuary can be found, he'll be taken temporarily to a local animal rehabilitator. It's been a couple of days since a baby otter was found lost and fending for himself in a suburban garden in Cape Town. Animal rehabilitator Margot Wilkie has been temporarily looking after him, and it's about time for his next feed.
Bottle came in all weak and sloppy. Now he's roaring and rearing to go. He's taking half ideal milk, half water, with about a tablespoon of Cerelac, which is a baby cereal mixed into it. They normally eat crabs, fish, frogs. So what I did was tried him on a little bit of canned fish, a little bit of raw mince, a little bit of raw fish, all sort of lumped into a bowl in bits and pieces. And he just walked straight through the middle. The scent didn't attract him at all. So you sort of pretty well take it for granted he doesn't know what it is yet. This little guy has barely got teeth. His little canines are completely see-through. And yet he's bitten right through several rubber teats already. I was warned by other rehabbers that practically toothless, they can inflict enough damage that you have to be stitched up again. Oh, he's got his teeth in the teeth. Come on, boy.
Sadly, there was no hope of locating his mother, but the SPCA has worked hard and found the next best thing.
Finally arranged a place for the otter to go to. It's a rehab place up in Joburg that had experience in rehabbing otters before, because it's going to be quite a lengthy process. It's going to be about a year process before it can be successfully rehabbed and released into the wild again.
Right, you have that.
Okay.
You guys go that way. Watch the cockatoo.
Okay.
Because he's a wild animal, it's crucial that the cub is handled as minimally as possible.
It's a private plane that's going through. They're actually just flying in from Joburg to Cape Town now. So we're off to the airport now.
He's on his way to the Freeme Wildlife Rehabilitation Centre in Sandton, Johannesburg, where wildlife experts will be able to prepare him for a life back in the wild. When he's ready, he'll be returned to the Cape for release. It's been a week since Bruno and his mum Lady were taken to the SPCA for treatment. Sadly, the medical evaluation found Lady's mange was very advanced, and taking into account her age, the vets felt the kindest thing was to put her to sleep. But it's good news for Bruno. He's responded well to treatment and can go home. Trainee Inspector Adiba Renze has the nice job of taking him.
We're returning this puppy because the doctor has cleared it. He's got a little bit of mange, but anyways, the doctor's given dip for him. The owner needs to dip him once a week, then he'll be okay for that bit of mange that he has.
Bruno can't wait to settle back in. His playmate is happy to see him home too. The SPCA has inspected the owner's yard and is satisfied that all the improvements have been made.
I'm very happy because my dog is back, and since the SPCA took him away, I'm happy to see him again, and it's good to see her in that condition now. Okay, the mother dog, that was my wife's dog. We had that dog since a pup, since a small puppy. Everywhere we move, we see she went with us I was very sad because she was also my first dog that I did have. Still, I want to say I'm thankful to the SPCA.
Bruno will need follow-up care for the mange, but the SPCA will ensure the owner keeps up with the treatment and doesn't let standards slip.
An idea is to actually run some water down there.
I think it's in this pipe. You see this pipe here?
It was lying just outside here.
It's been 2 weeks since the kitten was rescued in the nick of time from a drain pipe. When she was brought into the hospital, her chances seemed slim, but she fought for life and amazed everyone with her fighting spirit. Animal care assistant Nazima Root has taken a particular shine to her and has been helping with her recovery. Despite being given a clean bill of health, sadly, a terrifying experience seems to have taken its toll.
She's not very sociable now. She's had quite an experience, and you will see that she's not in the comfortable place where they usually go when they relax. She feels safe to be up there, and even if I take her down, she will climb up there again. She's a little scared, a little nervous, but she's allowing me to touch her, which is good. She's not ready yet to be put up for adoption, so we're going to work with her a little, and this is what her reaction is going to be like. Usually kittens are attracted to movement, but nothing. You see, she's moving back. It wouldn't be fair on her to go into a home where people wouldn't understand what she's been through. She's first got to build up that trust again.
It's going to be a long road to recovery, but Nazima is determined that patience will pay off.
She's not going to be very happy when I take her down. Come, don't be scared. I'll go about socializing her by visiting her every day, and from there, with my gentle touch, my gentle voice, she will learn to trust me.
The baboons are obviously very scared. We are running against the clock.
So it's a unique case.
Muscle loss everywhere. Just really just skin and bones.
She told us she can't take the dog with her. He's definitely Mr. Personality.
Chacma baboons are indigenous to the Western Cape. They're sociable animals, living in colonies of up to 50 individuals, but they're also scavengers, and that has brought them into conflict with the human population. Normally, baboons aren't interested in people and don't approach them, but in the Cape Peninsula, they've learned that where humans are, so is food, and that means easy pickings. The baboons have started straying away from their natural habitat and have become a suburban menace, raiding rubbish bins and even entering houses. Today, there's a storm brewing in more ways than one.
Control, come in for Alpha Control.
A report has come in that a troop of Chacma baboons is in the wrong part of town, and that means trouble. Chief Inspector Andries Venter and his team are on their way.
We got reports that baboons have come off the mountain into the suburb area of Steenberg, which is a highly populated area. The police are trying to prevent the people from harming the baboons. There is another organization, the baboon management team, who's trying to get the baboons back or into a safe environment, and they've called on us for assistance.
It's essential that the baboons get back to the mountain as soon as possible. And with 10 miles of suburbs in the way, it's not going to be easy.
Here we go. Control, we found it. Control, we found it.
With a crowd already forming, even getting close to the location proves a challenge.
All right, where are these things?
The organisation, Baboon Matters, is already at the scene.
Hi, my name's Chris.
Hi, Chris.
So what I want to do is I want my men to come and we're going to stand in a circle around them to stop them from leaving.
Okay. What we need to do is put the trap maybe on the side between the car and there.
Okay.
Open it, and then they can surround the trap as well.
Yeah, sure.
So
okay,
if we can trap one.
We need to get my guys in place.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Guys, so if you could just come in, please.
I'm going to prepare the darts.
Baboons are hierarchical, and the males can be very aggressive, especially if they feel their troop is under attack. So the plan is to tranquilize the large male first, and then herd the rest of the group into a trap. Darting needs a specialist, so Vet Joy Barry oversees the preparation of the tranquilizer.
But we've only got one chance.
Otherwise, one of us can use the gun and the other one the blowpipe.
That's an idea, yes. We need to work fast here, because if people get uptight, they're going to, and I hope they don't move.
The police try to keep the growing crowd calm.
With all the commotion that's happened up until now, the baboons are obviously very scared. We are running against the clock at the moment, trying to organize this. This one's ready, hey?
Okay.
So you want to go for the male so long, and I'll load up another dart.
Okay, where is the male?
Right here.
Okay.
They've decided that tranquilizing the male is the key, and Senior Inspector James Murphy has been given the task of shadowing him.
Sorry?
He's on the roof. It won't be an easy shot.
No, just wait. Can you see it from there, James? Do you think that's like...
There's only one shot.
Are you sure?
Sure enough, the animal's too quick for Murphy. They load again, but now the baboon will be even more on his guard.
Where's the male?
Well, that roof sticking out?
Yeah. He's gone this way again, though.
Is he which way?
Yeah.
Obviously not gonna make it easy for us. Once you miss the one, it kind of makes life difficult. So it can get quite a long saga.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the female.
The chase is on to corner the baboons into a safe area.
Oh, no, it's behind us.
That's if they can keep up with them.
He's going on around the other side. He's gone right through the gate on the other side. Yeah, that's going to be too far anyway. Well, they're much better at climbing over houses than we are. So, yeah, I think apparently they went through past the church on this side. So I'll have to go around and see on that side.
It's going to be a long, difficult day, and the weather isn't helping. The baboons aren't any closer to getting home, and they're making it harder by splitting up. The baboons that are at large in a highly populated suburb of Cape Town are still on the run. It's late afternoon, and Chief Inspector Andries Venter and his team are anxious to get them back to the mountains where they belong, as quickly and as safely as possible, before someone gets hurt.
Everyone was basically looking for the troop now. We found them again, so the whole scenario will repeat itself.
Earlier attempts to dart the male leader of the troop failed, so the team are now going for a different approach.
Well, they've created a feeding spot for the baboons now, which seems to be away from the community and the public. So hopefully, with the trap being set by James and the baboon team,
we can passively trap them and relocate them back to their area.
The baboons aren't making it easy though. They've seen the trap and they're off.
James, they're moving away, right there. It looks like they're moving towards the mountain, so we're going to try and just keep the path clear for them so that they keep on moving. And then hopefully they'll go back to their natural environment. We don't have to dart them and they don't have to sit in cages.
Andres and the team can't relax yet.
They've moved off through, back through the industrial area, and they've now crossed the railway road coming into the mountains. What I'm concerned about is it's bedtime for them. It's sun's busy setting, which means they will look for a place to go and sleep. And usually they find that on top of a roof somewhere or in a tree somewhere. I'm hoping that they would get enough energy to just cross the road and go back to the mountain.
There's one big obstacle still in the way though, and it's rush hour.
If they want to get back to the mountain, they have to cross this road.
The volume of the traffic isn't helping, but the team work fast, trying to drive the baboons in the right direction.
They're heading back to the mountain now. It's getting dark, and they'll seek refuge in the mountains. Luckily, not in the suburb area.
It's been a long day, but finally the baboons are back where they belong, for now at least. There are 93 societies for the prevention of cruelty to animals in South Africa, and there are strict national standards that all their inspectors have to meet. Learning to become an inspector is a full-time job. Trainee Liesl Pienaar is hoping to qualify soon, and despite being at the SPCA for almost a year, an experienced colleague's opinion is always welcome. So today she's asked Senior Inspector James Murphy to assist on a case that has been causing her some concern. A dog is being kept in a garden with no food or water, and she's worryingly thin.
Hey!
Liesl's tried to make contact with the homeowners, but had no success. She's hoping that James can advise her on a plan of action.
What do you think about the condition?
It's a bit thin, but it's not going to die. Hey, have you been around the back?
Well, there's a gate there. You can see through, but you can't get to it. And this car here's got a registration on the front, but you can't really read it. Like I said, it's very tricky.
Well, look, the gate's not physically locked, so one could actually just go in and knock on the door.
James wants to make one last effort to see if anybody is home.
So I was here on Thursday, left 24-hour warning to contact, no response. The dog wasn't in such a bad condition at that stage, so another inspector just came to recheck again on that warning and that the next day. Still no response. So we're back here just to have a look again, because obviously the people aren't responding, and the dog has lost a lot of weight since we last saw it. I still can't see any food, shelter or water, and still no reaction.
With no one at the back of the house, they try the front.
Well, it doesn't really look like an abandoned case. I mean, last time we were here, all the windows were open. There was a tree there, so someone's obviously cut the tree down. The bin has been, taken out. Post has been removed. But the condition of the dog has deteriorated. So whether the dog's being fed or not, it's hard to say.
Kind of makes you wonder whether they actually care about the dog or whether there is anybody actually living here. And are we dealing with an abandoned dog? But there's definitely no shelter in the back there. There's a tub with water in it, but it's got a bit of dust over it. Obviously from the wind that's blowing today. There's a bit of poo in the garden, and it looks fairly fresh, so chances are the dog has has been fed, but whether that's enough food or whether the dog has worms or whatever, that's causing it to lose condition, yeah, that is of concern. So I think our plan of action would be now to go to the magistrate, get a court order and remove the dog.
James has seen enough. With the dog's weight dropping, he doesn't want to hold off any longer. Less than a month ago, an Australian black swan was found swimming, lost and alone, in a local marina.
And he's off. Oh no, he's going down.
Senior inspectors Kira Joshua and James Murphy suspected she'd escaped from a private collection, and after eluding them for 2 hours,
Here we go.
they managed to net her. No one has come forward to claim the swan, so for the time being, she's a guest of the SPCA. Today, adoptions clerk Celeste Abdrabu is making a final attempt to establish where she's come from.
Spitty, if I get a front shot. Okay, there we go. What we're going to try to do is find the owner. Okay, basically we put an ad in the paper. This is the first time that I've had to advertise a swan. I've done cows, horses, dogs and cats before, but never a swan. So it's a unique case.
Hopefully, someone will respond to the advert. If not, the SPCA will have to try to find her a new home. East of the city, Senior Inspector James Murphy and Trainee Inspector Liesl Pienaar are returning to the suburb of Quills River, where a shepherd mix dog appears to be fending for itself in a garden. It's a mysterious case. Previous visits suggest the house is lived in, but no one has responded to their warnings. With the dog losing weight, they've decided to take action.
This dog's just skipping us. You can even see the ribs from here.
Come here!
Today, they have a court order to remove the dog and get her the care she needs.
This dog looks very scared.
The dog is frightened and retreats round the back of the house.
I'll just take a photograph of the license.
Lots of feces here.
I know, but it shows the dog's eaten, but what is it eaten there?
There's still no one home.
Well, the dog's a bit thin. It's probably a 3-4-year-old dog. It's sort of a youngish dog. There you go. There's a sad girl, eh?
Yeah, we did get a bit concerned. I mean, the last time we saw this dog, it wasn't this bad. And obviously coming back and finding it like this, it's, I mean, quite a deterioration.
You can see the hip bones are sticking out here. This dog is pretty thin. I'm sure it would, if it was given some food, it would wolf it down. Possibilities are that the dog isn't feeling well with it, and it has contracted tick bite fever, and that could be a problem. And I mean, left to its own devices, the owners didn't take it in, it would die.
There's some worry because of the condition that's deteriorated since we last saw it, which was just a couple of days ago. And the fact that we still haven't seen any water, food or shelter and still have not received any responses from the owners or the caretakers.
They leave a notice saying they've confiscated the dog, but for now, the priority is to get her back to the hospital. At the SPCA, vet Cookie Harris arrives to take a look at the shepherd mix.
So he's quite thin. You can actually see his ribs. You can see his bones there. The pelvic girdle is protruding. On his ears, he's got a few ticks on there. But otherwise, the ears are fairly clean. The emaciation could be one of two things. Either the dog is not fed properly or it could be worms. The likelihood that this dog has also got a worm problem is very high. And I say very high because most of the time if you find ticks, if they don't know about control of ticks, they also don't know, they're likely not to know about deworming. Just from the history, the dog doesn't seem to have any other problem. It's eating very well. It's got a very good appetite. So yeah, it's very possible that it's worms. So from here on, what we're going to do is to have a fecal flotation done and to have a blood smear done. The general condition of the dog does not, to me, reflect neglect. I would say more ignorance and just not knowing how to take care of the dog.
As soon as the results from the tests are ready, Cookie will decide on the best course of treatment for the dog. But one thing is certain, she needs to put on some weight.
Dogs are all extremely emaciated.
10 months ago, Inspector Fox Murray and Senior Inspector James Murphy decided to take action when they discovered 2 dogs and a puppy being neglected.
Condition is not acceptable.
All the animals were severely emaciated, so they were confiscated and taken into the care of the SPCA.
Come, we gotta run away.
The dogs were very nervous and, as a result, difficult to handle.
Make a line.
Come on, dog. Come on, boy.
Volunteer Malcolm Rhodes immediately started trying to socialise the dogs in the hope that they could find new homes.
There we are.
Sparky was the most fearful, and Malcolm was concerned that she might not come round.
At the moment, she needs a lot more confidence. That's a good girl. Yeah, really, hey?
For many months, Malcolm has worked with Sparky in the hope that she will learn to trust people again.
Yes. Come, that's a good girl. Hey, come, Sparky. That's a good girl. Yes. She's definitely far happier now. She's comfortable with people that she knows. She's very uncomfortable with strangers. For example, there are 2 people walking past now. She's very aware of them. Her tail is between her legs, and she's definitely not comfortable. Come, let's go for a walk now. Let's walk nicely. Come, good girl. Good girl. Hey, that's nice.
Adoption Centre manager Margie Ainscow is very familiar with cases like this.
With Sparky and other dogs like her, it's so important that people spend a lot of time with them. It's not just going to come right overnight. And it's a constant case of going in and taking the dog out and reassuring them.
That's a nice way to walk. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Come, here we go. Let's back. Okay.
The case of wonderful volunteers who come here every single day and work with these dogs and take them out. And there's a limited amount of staff, and they don't really have the time to sit for hours with a dog with behavior problems. So a lot of it is left up to the volunteers to help us with. I don't know what we do without them, quite honestly.
I think she could make a really nice dog to adopt.
Despite Malcolm's optimism, no one has chosen Sparky yet, and the kennels are full. Soon it could be time for a difficult decision about her future. It's late afternoon, and a call has just come in to the SPCA regarding some animals on a small holding outside Cape Town. One of the horses is evidently very weak, so Chief Inspector Andries Venter and trainee Equine Inspector Clive Matthews take the trailer in case it needs emergency vet care. The caller claims the owner is away receiving medical treatment and that the animals at the location are running short of food. Fellow tenant Samantha Ike also keeps animals here. She immediately takes Andries to see the sick horse, called Smarty.
This is one of her horses. You don't know why it's got diarrhea?
I have no idea. He's just been living on the grass.
Where has he been standing?
He's been grazing in the fields here, on the side of the house.
Okay, he hasn't been rolling or kicking or
No,
anything
he's got
like
no
that.
colic, nothing.
And the gums are fine, teeth are fine.
Yeah. He is, I think he's turning 4 this year. This is a thoroughbred, so you can see for a thoroughbred that's turning 4, this is severely underweight.
Turning 4?
Turning 3, sorry. But I mean...
Smarty is very thin and needs urgent medical attention. But before he can go anywhere, Andries wants to check the other animals.
This Rottweiler is yours, you said? That's it, also his. So 2 and 3 horses. And then how many dogs?
It's Tara, Shauna, Dania, Jack, Bella. Yeah, that's the 5.
Okay. I need to see the food that is here on the farm at the moment.
Samantha has been buying food for the animals, but with horses of her own to take care of, she can't afford to do it much longer.
Okay, dog food, cat food, that sort of thing.
I've got 2 bags coming in that are organised now from another friend of mine for today. Cat food, it's going to last till tomorrow morning.
Are the cats confined? Are they friendly? They're not feral.
Cats are very friendly. They run around the whole farm. They come and go as they please.
It's a difficult case, but Andries can't leave the animals to fend for themselves. He calls a relative of the owner with a plan.
We need to go about this before these animals start to starve or really suffer. For yourself, to sign the animals over to the SPCA. Will you take that responsibility? Okay.
Andries is happy for family members to look after the dogs and cats, but the horses need more expert care, and he wants them to be signed over to the SPCA.
These animals need to be removed for safety reasons. The complaints come from the occupants of the property themselves as well as family members. So we're working with the family. The family have decided to take ownership of the animals and they are signing them over to the SPCA. In light of the whole procedure, there's going to be no legal action taken, and we're just going to remove the animals and take them in and try and find new homes for them. He hasn't been boxed in a long time, so he's starting to kick and getting restless. So we need to get back, sort him out, and then be back tomorrow for the other horses.
Andries is eager to get Smarty to the hospital straight away, but before he leaves, he ensures there's enough feed for the other horses. It's early evening by the time Andries arrives back at the SPCA with Smarty.
Boy, such beautiful animals, eh? And all they ask for is just proper food, proper care, and proper love.
Vet Miles Penfold arrives to take a look.
Well, she's hell of a thin, eh?
He's had diarrhea for about 3 days now, according to the occupants of the place.
And that's the main sort of concern that they've had, apart from it obviously being really, really thin.
Yeah.
I think the main thing we're seeing here is on presentation, this horse has got dramatic muscle loss everywhere. I mean, just skin and bones. You can feel the spinal processes here. There's no real muscle left here. I mean, I can feel onto the top of the spinous processes all the way down on here, and also on the transverse processes. Obviously, the history of the horse with the diarrhea can also do this short term, but we don't have at this point in time. We're not able to say, how long has this weight loss been? Has it been 3 weeks? Has it been 3 months? So clearly, it's either not getting enough nutrition, or if it's got a diarrhea, the nutrition's not going in. Maybe a combination of both. There's no other histories of diarrhea or anything starting up there.
No.
First thing to do is we do a clinical. We deworm them and have a listen to the gut sounds and basically just see what happens from there.
Smarty's weight loss is the biggest concern, and establishing the cause as quickly as possible is crucial. His condition could deteriorate rapidly. Miles will need to monitor him closely through the night and run some more tests. It's early morning at the SPCA, and vet nurse Angela Knight and horse care assistant Isaac Majikweni have a plan to make Smarty feel more comfortable.
This is the horse that came in last night with diarrhea. The diarrhea seems to have cleared up overnight. He's eating very well. We're going to give him a wash now. The weather's warmed up quite a bit, and hopefully he'll feel a bit better after that. We want to shampoo and clean his tail and his hindquarters. He's had a lot of diarrhea that's gone onto him, and we've got a problem with flies, so we don't want them laying eggs and bothering him too much. I'm just giving the tail a good soak at the moment because it's been caked on really well.
Being a vet nurse can be a messy business.
There is some progress here.
Smarty seems very relaxed though.
Just as with humans, you want to make sure that you rinse all the shampoo out properly. And this normally also takes quite a while. He's quite enjoying it at the moment, I think. Right, it's pretty much clean. I just want to give him a final shampoo and then we'll let him dry off and give him a brush later on. You're getting irritable now, boy. We're almost done. That's looking significantly better, feeling a lot better too. Now we just rinse. That's a good boy. Okay, and I think that's about that done. We've finished. He's been a good boy.
The team at the SPCA will continue to give Smarty all the care he needs. It's a big day for the emaciated shepherd mix dog seized from a garden in Quills River. She's put on weight since being at the SPCA, and animal behaviourist Candice de Villiers is hoping she's ready to find a new home. But first, Candice needs to check her temperament.
So we're going to start off by doing a 60-second standing where just Taryn stands and we want to see the interaction of the dog with the human. She's very sweet. Very interested and inquisitive about her surroundings, sniffing the handler, wagging her tail at the handler as well. Lots of hair coming up. Definitely going to need some grooming. She seems to be enjoying that. Next we're going to be doing a teeth check, just to see if she's going to be happy with someone being in her face, handling her face. Very happy. She seems to have no problem with that at all. Great. Next step is we're going to try and see what she does with certain toys. We're going to use a ball just to see if she knows what to do with them. Seems to be interested in it, but she obviously has got no idea what to do with them.
Finally, the most important test.
We utilize a rubber hand just for purposes of her not biting us. If she attempts to bite anybody, then at this stage we would not consider putting her up for adoption. She's not entirely happy about that. You can see with her body language and a little bit of freezing and leaning against that hand, but she's allowing it and she's not growling, which is a good sign. Training would be advised, teaching her some manners and what's acceptable, how to walk on a lead and just basic general behaviors. Jumping like that on people is unacceptable behavior to us, and with a child or any children, if she runs and jumps on someone, she'd even knock an adult flying. So it would be a good idea to just give her some training, and she's definitely suitable to go up for adoption to a very nice, loving family.
It's a busy start to the day for Inspector Nelson Sawati. He's on his way to investigate a report of an abandoned dog. The complainant claims the owner moved house a month ago, but left the dog behind. Neighbours have been feeding the dog. As he arrives, Nelson can hear barking coming from the garden. A concerned neighbour is waiting.
Is this the dog?
Yeah, this is the dog.
Yeah, legally it is difficult for us just to remove.
Yeah.
Do you know when is the owner coming to collect the dog? Because, I mean, they know that they own a dog. They know that the dog is still at the old house.
She told us she's not fetching the dog. She told us she can't take the dog with her. So we know there's no one coming back for the dog.
Okay. Are you prepared to sign a dog over to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'd rather that than let it live on its own.
Then that is a different story. I will still leave a warning here so that whoever comes here first will know that the dog has actually been taken to the SPCA.
Okay.
All right.
Nelson needs to ensure that if the owners do return, they know where to find the dog.
I'm going to leave a little dog loose, so you can just put her in here. It is a bit hot for the box. I'm going to have to ask you to sign my papers, but first let's just do the warning. Sometimes the pressure is put on because the dog makes a lot of noise because it is pining for the owners and so on. But we still have to come out in order to assess the physical condition of the animal. Then you as an inspector will know definitely whether you confiscate immediately or whether you can still leave a 24-hour warning for the owners to contact the SPCA. Okay, little one. Hey, my darling.
The neighbour says the dog's name is Peanut. For now, he'll go back to the SPCA. The owners have 7 days to come forward. If not, Peanut will be put up for adoption. Across town, Chief Inspector Andries Venter is back on the road with the horse trailer.
We're on our way back to a farm where we removed the skinny-looking horse the day before yesterday. The owner left the animals in the care of her friends and family, and they've now run low with feed for the horses. The dogs and cats, they have decided to split up amongst each other and care for until further notice to us. But our main concern are the horses.
The owner of the animals is still away receiving medical treatment, but Andries has been in touch with her family. Fellow tenant Samantha Ike and some friends are already at the location, preparing the horses for their journey to the SPCA. It's been quite some time since either of the horses were loaded into a trailer. They'll have to take it slowly. First up is the mother of Smarty, the sick horse.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
So far, so good. One more to go.
I'm very impressed. This went much better than...
Not to put them down.
No, we won't. No, I promise you. No.
Because I phoned a bunch of my friends the other night and just said, please, if you know of anybody.
To be honest with you, we very, very rarely have to put down horses because we can't find homes.
Well, you just let me know where they go.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And I'll keep you up to date about Smarty next week as well.
Okay, I'm just going to go to the house and get their papers and stuff.
Okay, all right. I'll meet you up there just now.
Okay.
I was a bit concerned about them not loading very easily because they haven't been boxed for a while, but surprisingly both of them walked in one shot, no hassles, so I'm very happy with the way it's gone so far.
Although they aren't her horses, Samantha has become very attached to them.
No, I definitely think they'll go to a much, much better place because at least they're going to get treatment that they need. I mean, they're seriously underweight. They need a lot of medical attention and they're going to find lovely homes. They just are really lovely horses.
It's an important day for Peanut. Sadly, no one came forward to claim him, and his owners couldn't be traced. So today, animal behaviourist Candice de Villiers is going to check his suitability for adoption.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to start with just a 60-second standing, where Taryn's going to be standing, and just going to see his interaction with her and with what he's going to do around, if he's just quite happy to stand next to her or move around and get sniffing. He's a poser. We're going to move over to doing stroking. Taryn's going to give him a couple of strokes and we're going to see how if he enjoys it, if he doesn't like it, take it from there.
He definitely likes people.
Clearly we can see he absolutely loves that. Okay, next is going to be our toys. We're going to go over to seeing if he'll play with the ball. You can see with these little paws that he did a little bounce with, he wants to play, but then you'd prefer getting the affection and the attention from the human. So I think giving him some time and showing him that playing with toys is nice and fun and interaction with humans, that he would actually start doing that quite happily. So I would definitely describe him as, he's a very sweet dog. He really has a huge personality. I really think that he would make someone very happy. I also think that he would be good with children. He's very affectionate and friendly, and he'll definitely learn how to play. Possibly one day when he's maybe more relaxed with the circumstances and the environment, he'll probably end up playing quite nicely and lots of fun. He's quite a fun dog. He's definitely Mr. Personality. I think elderly lady is not going to keep up with him.
Peanut has passed with flying colours and definitely loves all the attention. It's been several weeks since an appeal was launched to find the owners of an Australian black swan. Sadly, the owner has not come forward, so the SPCA has hit upon a solution, and it's very close to home. Normally, dogs pull on her heartstrings, but for Candice, it was love at first sight.
I didn't really hear that the swan was being rescued, but I saw the commotion and the big box being carried in, so I was definitely there to go and have a look at what it was all about. And when she came out of the box, I think my natural 3 words were out of my mouth was, "Oh, I want her." So it was just a natural instinct that she's got what's the right word, like a flair about her. She's just so pretty and polite and kind of just peaceful. Well, I've got 1 white cracker, and then I've got the Muscovy, and then various other canaries and doves and variants of birds. I love the sound of them. Mornings when you wake up, you hear them. In the beginning, the Muscovy just tried to chase her around the garden and wouldn't allow her near the water bowls and near the duck ponds and things like that. And now it seems they sleep together at night. During the day, they keep themselves occupied. They graze, and in the evenings when I come back, just spend some time, I just sit out here with them. And that's the only way that they get used to me. Exercising his wings.
Some friendships, though, might take a little longer to form.
I've got a couple of these mountain tortoises. As you can see, my dominant male checks up the territory and knows exactly who's here and who shouldn't be here. So I don't have to worry about any intruders. She's right next to a tortoise there at the moment, and she just moves away, especially when this one comes closer. She spots him and she manages to move away quite easily. She's beautiful.
It's been over a month since the Shepherd mixed dog arrived at the SPCA. Trainee Inspector Liesl Pienaar is eager to see how she's doing. Liesl has been in contact with the owners of the house where she was found, and they claim she's a stray that wandered into their property. They don't want to keep her, so have signed her over to the SPCA.
She's obviously picked up some weight, as you can see. Looking good, friendly, healthy. She's gone for her x-rays last week to check that her hips are all fine. And yeah, she's now up for adoption, as you can see, very energetic. Well, when we first took her, I mean, she was really thin and not very, active, very weak. And looking at her now, it's quite an improvement. I mean, seeing a dog coming from, where it came from and looking at what the dog is now today. You know, it makes us feel that we're doing some difference out there. There's definitely job satisfaction to know that you're helping an animal from a bad situation into a better situation, possibly a very good home. She will make a very energetic pet, obviously have to be walked a lot and get a lot of attention and very playful. So yeah, she just needs maybe some kids and that around.
Peanut, the abandoned Maltese poodle, is nearly ready to go up for adoption. But before the SPCA can find him a new home, he's going to need a bath. And animal care assistant Sipiwo Nkyepi has his shampoo at the ready.
As you can see, this one has been in a bath before. It's not freaking out or anything like that. Right? It looks like he's really enjoying it. You just saw a big yawn sign. He's really enjoying that. See, he wants me to start rubbing him again, so he's really enjoying it. If they've had bad experiences, then it's heaven here for them. Yeah, because they get fed regularly, they get a lot of love, they get a lot of volunteers working with them, which is something they might not be used to wherever they come from. Really loves people. If I run into 100 people while I'm walking, he will greet every single one of them. Right over. Let's try you.
Peanut is quite matted, but a good brush through will soon sort those tangles out.
Now we can go out there and show.
All clean and fresh, he can't wait to find a loving new owner. At the SPCA stables, there's some good news. The horses taken from the small holding have settled in, and Andris is particularly keen to see how the horse in the poorest health is doing.
This is Smarty that came in last week after he was reported to have bad diarrhea. The owner allegedly had to leave them behind after being admitted into hospital. The owners then decided to sign them over, surrender them to us, and he's adapting very well to the SPCA lifestyle. He's gaining weight, and we'll be assessing all the applications for his adoption. The other two horses have also been surrendered subsequently, and they're also being medically assessed just to make sure that they can go to homes as pets. I'm very happy with the way this case has developed, and that the family and the friends have started taking responsibility and ownership and realized the magnitude and cooperated with us fully. Smarty is looking very happy. He's looking forward to finding his own feet again.
Smarty still has a long way to go, but the vets will be keeping a close eye on him. The other two horses, though, will soon be ready for adoption. Almost a year ago, the SPCA found 3 severely emaciated dogs in a yard.
Stay.
Sparky was the most fearful, and it was touch and go as to whether volunteer Malcolm Rhodes could bring her round. After many months of love and attention, her behaviour was corrected, but no one seemed to want her. But finally, patience has paid off, and just outside the city, Sparky is settling into her new home. And she seems to like it, and her playmate Bocky. Adopter Penny Steckhoven is very happy to be able to help her overcome her old nervous ways.
She was terrified of water when we first brought her here. Her first day, she was so frightened. It took her about a week to get used to the water. Come on. Now, she likes to play in it. When we go to the beach, she's beginning now to go into the sea and play around and grab the sticks from Bocky. They have a good tug of war with the sticks. But when we first took her to the beach, I had to keep her on a lead the whole time. She was absolutely terrified out of her wits. She settled down dramatically, but she still gets agitated with people walking around with sticks or anything like that. And when there's thunder and lightning, she disappears downstairs and hides in a dark corner. And similarly, when the TV goes on. The first time we turned on the TV, she had been sitting near me and she just bolted. I think she's got the most gentle face of all the dogs we've ever had. She does have a very expressive face. So we took her because we liked the look of her. It's okay. Yes, wag your tail.